We recognize superstars in the NBA for their incredible impact on the floor. The greatest players always leave their marks during the playoffs and elevate their games to a whole nother level. However, there are times when even superstars have some poor performances. In this video, I'm going to be covering the top 5 worst playoff series performances by NBA superstars. The NBA has been around for a long time, so I'm only going to be looking at the worst performances since 2000. Alright, let's do it. At number 5, Allen Iverson versus the Milwaukee Bucks in the 2001 Eastern Conference Finals. Many basketball fans consider Iverson's 2001 playoff run as one of the greatest and most inspirational of all time. It was filled with some ridiculous performances and memorable moments that the basketball world will remember forever. However, in the Eastern Conference Finals that year, Iverson and the 76ers matched up against the Milwaukee Bucks led by Ray Allen, Sam Cassell, and Glenn Robinson. While Iverson did put up over 30 points per game, he shot the ball terribly, averaging only 34% from the field. In Game 2 of the series, he went 5 for 26, including 0 for 8 on threes. And then in Game 4, he went 5 for 27. As the league's MVP, these kinds of performances from Iverson were just unacceptable. But it is understandable though, since Iverson was the only scoring option on that team surrounded by rebounders and defensive-minded players. The rest of his team was able to pick up the slack, helping him win the series in 7 games and move on to the finals where they eventually fell to the Lakers. At number 4, Kevin Durant against the Dallas Mavericks in 2016. Yeah, I know the magnitude of these games weren't that big, and the Thunder did win the series easily, but statistically I just could not leave this off the list. For the series, Durant averaged 26 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists, but he shot only 37% from the field and 27% from three-point land, which comes out to roughly a 49 true shooting percentage. Additionally, in Game 2 of this series, he went 7 for 33 from the field, with 7 turnovers, which has a case for being the worst individual game in NBA history. He missed 26 shots, which tied for the most missed shots in the last 30 years. What's really strange about this series is that the Dallas Mavericks weren't even that good defensively, ranking 19th out of 30th in the league. So Durant having such a terrible performance like this is just really random. But luckily the Thunder still had Russell Westbrook, and he led the Thunder to an easy 5-game series victory. At number 3, Kobe Bryant in the 2004 Finals against the Detroit Pistons. The 2004 Lakers entered the playoffs with high expectations. It was either championship or bust for this team. Unfortunately for Kobe, he ran headfirst into the best defensive team in the league. In the finals, he averaged 23 points on 38% shooting, which includes an abysmal 17% from three-point land, on nearly 5 attempts per game. The Pistons threw multiple long, athletic defenders at Kobe to slow him down, and it ended up working pretty well. Additionally, the Lakers were heavy favorites entering the series, and nobody even predicted the Pistons had a chance, let alone dominate them in 5 games. The aftermath of this loss was devastating. It essentially ended the Kobe and Shaq dynasty, and most of the core players either retired or left for other teams. After the game was over, Chauncey Billups stated that their game plan was very calculated. They knew that they could not stop Shaq or Kobe one-on-one, but if they decide to not double-team Shaq, then the Lakers would just keep feeding him the ball, and as a result, Kobe would get a bit mad that he's not getting any touches, and because of that, Kobe would probably start forcing some bad shots which played right into their hands, because that's exactly what he did. If there was one playoff series where Kobe wished he could redo, it would definitely be this one. Number 2, Dirk Nowitzki against the Warriors in 2007. Dirk had just come off the best season of his career, winning MVP and leading the Mavs to a league-best 67-15 record. They matched up against the 8th-seeded Golden State Warriors, a team that barely even made the playoffs with 42 wins. But turns out this was the worst possible matchup for Dallas, as Golden State's small ball lineups were just too fast for the slow-footed Mavs to handle. On top of that, the Warriors coach Don Nelson knew the Mavs playbook inside and out since he coached in Dallas for 8 years. Dirk finished the series averaging 20 points per game on 38% from the field with 21% from 3. All of those numbers well below his playoff averages. He also shot 2 for 13 in Game 6, which was the final nail in the coffin. Dirk's season ended with an awkward MVP conference, when he was awarded the MVP 2 weeks after his team got knocked out of the playoffs. He became the first player in 25 years to win the MVP and not make it out of the first round. He did make up for it though in 2011, where he redeemed himself and finally got his ring. And number 1, LeBron James in the 2011 Finals. Speaking of 2011, this was the year where LeBron had the worst playoff series in his entire career. Going up against the Dallas Mavericks in the finals, LeBron and the Heat were the heavy favorites to win the title. But the Heat blew this opportunity and LeBron finished the series with his lowest average points per game and game score ever. This included scoring just 8 points in an important Game 4, where the Heat had a chance to go up 3-1 but they just couldn't pull it off. Additionally, through the first 5 games of the series, LeBron scored a total of just 11 points in the fourth quarter. That's just about 2 points per fourth quarter, which is ridiculously bad for a guy considered as the best player in the league. It was also around this time where all of the jokes and memes about LeBron not showing up in the fourth quarter were in full effect. And to a degree, they were kinda true. And also, what is up with that hairline? Yikes. Years later, LeBron looked back at this series and said that it has haunted him for years, but it turned him into the player he is today. Ever since the 2011 Finals, LeBron has become a totally different player, winning 3 titles in the last 5 years while performing at the highest level of his playoff career. That's all for this video, guys. If you liked it, make sure to subscribe and leave a like, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.